Good morning, everyone. Let us start. Remember, revision is going on for Chapter 2, Physical Features of India. Today we shall revise about the northern plains. So now I shall present my screen. The northern plains. Last time we discussed about the Himalayan mountains, and this is another major landforms of India. Now let us read. The northern plain has been formed by the interplay of the three major river systems, namely the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. And this plain is formed of alluvial soil. Okay, so let us see the map given in your book. So here the northern plains lies here. Okay, here we have the northern plains, and here we have the Brahmaputra valley. Then here all these areas, okay, are coming under the northern plains. Okay, and when we see this map carefully, then you will find that these northern plains, okay, have been formed by the depositional work of three major river systems. So those are these Indus river system in the west, then Ganga river system in the middle, then the Brahmaputra river system in the east. Okay, and actually see here, this is the Himalayan mountains as you are seeing here. So these are the Himalayan mountains, and so when the Himalayan mountains were uplifted, just south of it there was a depression like this. Okay, and this is the Peninsular Plateau part, this area. Okay, this is the plateau part, and there was a depression just south of the Himalayan mountains, and the rivers flowing down from the Himalayas deposited sediments here. Okay, pebbles, boulders, stones, and silk. And rivers flowing from the peninsula also deposited the materials, alluviums, here in this low-lying area. And in this way, the Great Plains, the northern plains of India, were formed. Okay. And the deposition of alluvium in a vast basin lying at the foothills of the Himalaya over millions of years formed this fertile plain. Just I explained you earlier. Okay, deposition of alluvium. Alluvium means actually all the materials, okay, the fine materials and of course materials carried down by the running water, by the rivers, in a vast basin lying at the foothills of the Himalayas over millions of years form this fertile plain. Just see this diagram. Okay, and it spreads over an area of 7 lakh square kilometer. The total geographical area of the northern plains is 7 lakh square kilometer. The plain being about 2,400 km long and 240 to 320 km broad is a densely populated physiographic division. So what is the total length of these northern plains? Just see here. The total length of the northern plain from the west towards the east up to here is 2,400 2,400. Okay, here the total length is 2,400 kilometer. And about the wide, okay, and about the wide, actually it is wider. See here in the west, it is 320 kilometers. Let us check it. In the west it is 320 kilometers. The wide here in the west is 320 kilometer. And in the east, that is in Assam area, okay, see here, here in Assam area it is a narrower, and it is around 240 kilometers. Okay, here the wide in Assam is 240 kilometer. So this is the dimension of the northern plains. With a rich soil cover combined with adequate water supply and a favorable climate, it is agriculturally productive part of India. Okay, the northern plains, you know, the soil is fertile. Alluvium soil generally fertile. Okay, the soil which is dark gray to ash gray in color. Actually, the soil you find in the plain areas are the alluvial soils. Okay, and these soils are generally fertile, and in the northern plains with this fertile soil, then adequate water supply given by the rivers, okay, and a favorable climate, this northern plain is agriculturally a productive part of India. Okay, so this photograph shows the northern plains of India. Okay, the rivers coming from the northern mountains are involved in the depositional work. In the lower course, due to gentle slope, the velocity of river decreases, which result in the formation of riverine islands. Okay, see, actually when we learn about the longitudinal profile of a river, it is divided into 3 sections, as you are seeing here. Let us say this is the longitudinal profile of a river from the source area. Okay, so mountains are the source areas, okay, of the rivers, and here this is their destination, maybe the ocean or a lake. This is their destination. And when we observe the profiles of a river, generally it is divided into 3 sections. The mountainous areas, okay, the mountainous areas are known as this upper course. Then the plain areas, okay, low-lying areas are known as the middle course, and nearby the sea here, it is known as the lower course. Okay, and in the lower course, due to gentle slope, see here in the lower course, when the river approaches the sea areas, okay, coastal areas, then the slope is very gentle. The slope is very gentle like this, and that is why, due to deposition, okay, let us say this is the bed of the river, and when the river approaches nearby the sea, the bed of the river is very shallow, and deposition takes place, okay, here, and because of that, because of deposition here on the bed of the river, then islands are formed, okay, what we call riverine islands. Just here, suppose this is the river, and so in the middle of the river, islands are formed, and such types of islands are known as riverine island. Okay, and Majuli in Brahmaputra river is the largest inhabited riverine island in the world. Okay, so it is inhabited by the human beings. And Majuli is a riverine island, an island formed in a big river. Okay, so this is the largest inhabited riverine island in the world. And see, we have a photograph showing this Majuli. Okay, so this is a photograph showing Majuli riverine island. See here, these are the river waters and this is the island lying in the middle of the river. Okay, and inside it, okay, so this is the one. And the rivers in their lower course split into numerous channels due to deposition of silt, and these channels are known as these tributaries. Okay, again we have to see this diagram. The river in the lower course here, the river here in the lower course form these tributaries. See here, this is the main channel, and here so many streams are braided like this. Okay, and so here the water is diverted from the main channel, so it is flowing this side, and this is also flowing this side, and so these are known as these tributaries. Okay, and thus forming a delta, and such feature is known as a delta because it looks like Greek letter delta. It takes the shape of a triangle. Okay, hence the name is given delta. Okay, so these tributaries means a channel which is diverting water from the main river. Okay, see here, here this is the main river and a stream is joining the main river. Okay, see here, it is joining here, and this is known as what? This is known as tributary. Okay, and near the mouth, what happened? See, this is the coastal area, and when the river approaches the coastal area, the slope is very gentle, and that is why, due to deposition of the silt in the bed of the river water is diverted in this way. Okay, the water is diverted in this way, and these are known as these tributaries. Okay, this is known as this tributary. Okay, this tributary, RIES, that is plural form. Okay, these tributaries, and thus forming a delta at the mouth of the river. Okay, are you clear? Any question, boys and girls? Are you clear about the meaning of tributary and these tributaries? Okay, if you are clear, okay, then let us proceed. The northern plain is broadly divided into three sections. Okay, from the west to the east. The western part of the northern plain is known as the Punjab Plain. Okay, and Punjab Plains are formed by the Indus and its tributaries. The larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan. Okay, and the Indus and its tributaries, the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Byas, and the Salus originate in the Himalayas. And this section of the plain is formed by the Doabs. Okay, so let us see this map again. So this northern plains can be divided into three sections. Okay, see here, the westernmost section. The westernmost section is known as the Punjab Plain here. This section, okay. This section is known as Punjab Plain, and Punjab Plains is formed by the Indus and its tributaries. See here we have Indus River and its tributaries like the Jhelum, then Ravi, Satluj, okay, Bias, and these 5 tributaries, okay, mentioned here, form this Punjab Plain. Okay, and here in this section, dwarfs are very common. Actually, meaning of dwarf is given here. Dwarf is made up of 2 words, do meaning 2 and up meaning water. Okay, similarly, Punjab is also made of 2 words, Pans meaning 5, up meaning water. So here dwarf means the lane between 2 river system. Okay, see here. Let us say this is a river. Okay, and this is another river, and it is joining here. So we have got 2 rivers. This is one river and this is another river, and this lane, okay, this land between these 2 rivers is known as a dwarf. Okay, this section of land is known as dwarf. Okay, dwarf, dwarf. Do means 2, up means river. Okay, the lane between 2 river is known as, okay, dwarf, as you are seeing here. See, so this picture shows dwarfs of Punjab. Okay, see, we have this Shinsagar dwarf, then Jit dwarf formed by Jhelum and the Senab. Okay, then this is Rihana dwarf, then this is Bari dwarf. So many dwarfs are here, and this is what Vista dwarf formed by Bias and Satluj. Okay, so in this way, in this area you'll find many dwarfs. Okay, and next we have the Ganga Plain, extends between the Ghaggar and the Tista River. Okay, in the middle we have the Ganga Plain, extending between Ghaggar and Tista River. It spreads over the states of northern India, like the Haryana, then Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, partly Jharkhand, and the West Bengal to its east. So again, let us see this map. See here, Ghaggar River is flowing here. Okay, Ghaggar River is flowing here, Ghaggar River, and here Tista River is flowing here, and this section, okay, this section between Ghaggar River and Tista River is known as the Ganga Plain. Okay, the whole this section is known as the Ganga Plain, and Ganga Plain covers this Haryana, then Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, then West Bengal states. Okay, and in the east we have the Brahmaputra Plain. Again, let us see this map. So this section, okay, here this section in Assam between Tista and this Dihang River. So this is known as Brahmaputra Plains or the Brahmaputra Valley. Okay, so these are the 3 divisions of the northern plains. In the west we have the Punjab Plain, and major areas of Punjab Plain lies in Pakistan. And in the middle we have the Ganga Plain between the Ghaggar River and the Tista River, and east of Tista River we have the Brahmaputra Plains or the valley. Okay, and the northern plains are generally described as a flat land with no variations in relief, but it is not true. Okay, it is not a flat plain, it has many variations. These vast plains also have diverse relief features. Different relief features are there. According to variations in the relief features, the northern plains can be divided into 4 regions, okay, from north to south. The rivers, after descending from the mountains, okay, deposit pebbles in a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 kilometers in wide, lying parallel to the slopes of Shivalik, and it is known as Bhavar. Okay, the rivers, after descending from the Himalayas, deposit pebbles in a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 kilometers in wide, lying parallel to the slopes of the Shivalik, and it is known as Bhavar. Here, let us say these are the 3 parallel ranges of the Himalayas. Okay, and see here, this is Himadri, and next we have Himachal, and this is the southernmost one. The southernmost one is known as Shivalik. Okay, and at the foothills of the Shivalik, okay, at the foothills of the Shivalik here, we find deposits of the sands and the pebbles here. Deposits of sands and pebbles here along the foothills of the Shivalik. And here this belt is about this 8 to 16 kilometers in wide. Here the wide, okay, here the wide is 8 to 16 kilometer. Okay, 8 to 16 kilometers. And this narrow belt, okay, along the foothills of the Shivalik, which is covered by pebbles, is known as the Bhavar. Okay, so this is what? This is known as Bhavar. Okay, this is what I call Bhavar belt. This is known as Bhavar. So since the surface is covered with pebbles, okay, all the streams disappear in this Bhavar belt. Since the surface is covered with pebbles and the sand, okay, the rivers, the streams flowing down from the Shivalik disappeared here. Okay, all the streams flowing down from the Shivalik, okay, are disappeared in this zone. That means going in the underground. Okay, all the river waters absorb or infiltrated in the underground. Okay, then south of this belt, the streams and rivers re-emerge and create a wet, swampy and marshy regions known as Terai. And this was a thickly forested region full of wildlife. The forests have been cleared to create agricultural land and to settle the migrants from Pakistan after a partition. Okay, so about this Bhavar, see, the Bhavar looks like this. Okay, it is covered with pebbles and the sand, and the water has been infiltrated in the underground. Okay, disappeared in the underground, and this water again re-emerged here. Just south of this Bhavar, okay, the water that has been disappeared in the underground again re-emerged here. Okay, the water that has been infiltrated, that has been absorbed in the Bhavar belt is re-emerged here, thus forming this area as a wetland. Okay, here this area becomes a wetland, and this is known as Terai. Okay, So this belt is known as terai. Okay, so if we look from the sky, terai looks like this, and if we look inside it, then it looks like this. Okay, here you'll find wetlands with trees, grasses, and so many other wildlife you'll find in the terai region. Okay, remember the old streams that have disappeared, okay, in the Bhabur belt will re-emerge in the terai belt, okay, as you're seeing here, and thus forming a wetland. And this belt is known as terai belt. Okay, and let us continue. The largest part of the northern plain is formed of older alluvium, and it lies above the floodplains of the rivers and presents a terrace-like feature. And this part is known as a vangar. Okay, and the soil in this region contains calcareous deposit locally known as kankar. Okay, that grains of calcium carbonate, locally known as kankar, is present in this older alluvium known as vangar. And the newer alluvium, okay, the newer younger deposits of the floodplain are called khadar, and they are renewed almost every year, and so are fertile and thus ideal for intensive agriculture. Okay, again let us continue. See here, again just south of it here you'll find terrace-like features formed by the Ganga river. So these are the terraces, and let us say this is the Ganga river, and again these are the terraces, and so these are the levees, okay, embankments. It may be formed by nature as well as formed by human beings. And let us say this is the Ganga river. Okay, Ganga river. See, this is what? This is river. Okay, so this is the Ganga river, and just nearby the river bank you'll find a low-lying area. Okay, this low-lying area here, you'll find low-lying area, and this low-lying area is known as floodplains. Okay, when the river is in flood, this low-lying area will be flooded, and hence the name floodplains is given. Okay, so remember this low-lying area nearby the river bank is known as floodplains. Okay, floodplains. And so in the floodplains you'll find this khadar. Okay, in the floodplains, in this area, in these areas, just see here, and here in this area you'll find the newer alluvium known as what? Known as khadar. Okay, so in the floodplains you'll find khadar, whereas away from the rivers, away from the river, okay, from the river bank, at the higher reaches, that is along the terraces. So these are the river terraces, and this is another river terrace, and here in these river terraces you'll find what? Bangar. Okay, you'll find bangar here. So in this area, say in the upper recess, that is in the river terraces, here and here, you will find bangar as mentioned here. Let's see here. this older alluvium known as Bhangar, okay, lies above the floodplains of the river and presents a terrace-like feature, as you are seeing here. Okay, lies above. This is the floodplain. This is the floodplain, and just above the floodplain, Bhangar is lying. Okay, just forming a terrace-like feature. Terrace, you know, stair-like steps. This is known as terrace. So here lies the Bhangar, and here lies the Bhangar, and in the floodplains you'll find Khadar, also known as the newer alluvium. And since these floodplains are flooded every year, so these soils found here are enriched by the floodwater and hence fertile. Okay. So any question, boys and girls, are you clear? Any questions about the northern plains? Okay, or about the Khadar, about Bhangar? Remember, this Bhangar refers to the older alluvium soil, Khadar refers to the newer alluvium soil, and Khadar is more fertile than the Bhangar, because Khadar lies nearby the river banks in the floodplains, in the low-lying areas. Okay, when the river is in flood, the floodwater enriches the soil and so fertile. And since the Bhangar lies in the river terraces, then the floodwater cannot reach this area. Okay, and hence it is not enriched. And it has been used many times, and therefore it is not fertile. Okay, and so these are the four major relief features of the northern plains from north to the south. Okay, remember, these are the Himalayan mountains. Okay, the Himadri, the Great Himalaya, then Himachal, the Lesser Himalaya, and the Shivaliks. And just at the foothills of the Shivalik, you'll find deposits of pebbles and the sands. And in a narrow belt of these 8 to 16 kilometers in wide, and all the streams flowing down from the Shivalik will disappear here. And this belt is known as Bhavar. Okay, and just south of Bhavar, then all the river water that have been sunk, okay, disappeared in the underground will re-emerge here, and thus forming a wetland, and this is known as Terai. And next you will find this Bhangar, okay, the older alluvium in terraces. And after the Bhangar you will find Khadar, okay, in the floodplains. So these are the four major relief features of the northern plains from the north to the south. Okay. If you don't have questions, then let us stop here for today. Thank you very much for joining my class.